episode of this show. So Superman has been sucked into a black hole. Just think about it. So Superman doesn't have any powers because it's a red sun. Okay. Alright, we all know this story. This is so crazy. This is such a crazy episode. And I have to keep getting away because I don't want to get in trouble for showing something like this. Because, you know, you get in trouble. Well, I get in trouble for this. I'm just some guy.
I am from another time and place, but who I am is not important. What is important is that you believe what Jor-El tells you.
No. With our headbands on. Our 70s headbands.
Thank you for trying. I must
This is so crazy. Just watch.
We have never met before, yet you know my name. And for some reason, I feel I know you. All I can tell you is that I am a friend.
I am a friend.
Within a short time, Jor-El's predictions of doom become a reality.
Uh-oh.
At Jor-El's laboratory,
This is the best. Just watch. Matt, what's up, dude?
you will grow to be superior in strength.
He's got his little...
My father is giving up his own life to save mine. If it weren't for Krypton's red sun, I'd have my super strength and could do something.
My father is giving up his own life.
The super mobile, there's still a chance.
Brush off my car, yeah. Oh, look at the Superman mobile. This thing is so funny.
From expanding, and there's only one way to
There's only one way to do it.
Superman speeds into the center of Krypton's sun.
Oh, yeah? Look at the hands.
My plan works. The supermobile's antimatter power source will react with the sun's matter and stop its expansion.
Of course, he just knows that's what's going to happen.
I've only got a few seconds before it explodes.
I wonder who he's talking to. So how is this vehicle flying if he just took the power source out?
A stranger has saved Krypton. Thank you, whoever you are.
They didn't say... I thought they were sending the baby off.
Superman speeds back into the mysterious spacewalk that hurled him into the past.
He knew that was what was going to happen. Watch this.
He'll return to his own time and space. Now to get back to the Hall of Justice.
Yeah. Watch this. This is crazy. Why does he need a vehicle? Because he lost his powers and it wouldn't be convenient. So the Hall of Justice exists, even though...
What could have possibly happened? Please, don't hurt me. I'll come peacefully. Robin, it's me, Superman. Do I know you? What's wrong? What happened?
Why would he not? No. He knows he wasn't sent there.
Destroyed for the Superfriends except me. But that's impossible. Everyone was fine when I left you yesterday. What are you talking about? I've never seen you before. What?
So why are you talking to him, Robin?
Now I understand. When I saved Krypton, my father Jor-El never sent me to Earth. To the people of this world, there never was a Superman. Don't worry, Robin. The Superfriends will survive.
Smart. Lightning speed.
Reappearing in the past.
Somehow he's
I made it back to the right time and place.
back. Oh,
It's Krypton. There's still time. The sun's tremendous heat is affecting my X-ray vision. I've only got 3 seconds to find the antimatter.
he knows he has 3 seconds. And his vehicle has its hands. So now he flies away. Watch.
At Jor-El's laboratory. As much as it pains me, this time I cannot save Krypton.
He let his...
Only got a few seconds to get back to the supermobile.
The Supermobile.
It's done. Little Kal-El is safe, but I'm afraid Krypton isn't.
Oh my God.
Superman returns from the past.
Superman committed genocide so he could be a superhero on Earth. Can you believe that shit?
What are you talking about, Superman? You've only been gone a few seconds. It may have only been a few seconds to you, but it was a
Lifetime to me. Sorry. You're going to let an entire species of people, an entire race of of people, Kryptonians, are going to get wiped out so that you can be a superhero on Earth. Never mind the Earthlings got to figure it out without you, and they will, and all this other shit. Nope. Can't have Earth be doomed. Can't have Earth be doomed, but fuck kryptonite. Fuck all those people, all those families, all those children. I want to be a superhero. I don't get to be a superhero? Good thing fucking Back into the Future hadn't happened yet. It would have been fading. They'd have had that concept of, whoa, wait, he shouldn't exist. But how could Superman exist if he was never sent to be there in the first place? Superman would have accidentally wiped himself out by doing that. Think about how nuts that is. He sacrificed Krypton for us. Thanks, Superman. How fucked up is that? Sacrifice your parents, your entire family, into the sun, and then he went back and got it because it never like nothing happened to it. It just sat there in the sun being itself. Do you understand how insane that is? How just wrong that episode was? Who thought to make that episode and to think like what kind of traumatic shit? I'm sorry, but that shit was. That was such a disgusting. Superman committed genocide, planetary genocide of his own people for America. The superpowers on it and glory, and all people looking up to him so he could be the god to all the little sheep below. Snap of the finger. It's so nuts. That is such a weird episode. And I love doing this with you guys. Like, this is why I'm so obsessed with watching old TV shows. I hate all this new shit. This old stuff is so fucking crazy. And when you think like your parents, your grandparents, the leaders in the world right now, this is what they were raised on. This is what they were shown growing up. Oh, the Space Dolls episode. This is so stupid. This is such a stupid episode. But you just look at how they just programmed us with so much space travel bullshit, upside down trying. Oh, we got a juice star there. Did you guys see the juice star? You wouldn't see it unless you were looking for it. We'll see it again, don't worry. Look at it. You can't see the top, but the yellow goes up and makes a triangle. You see that? He's got the juice star on his fucking chest. These are dolls. Oh, it's a good thing they happened to show up just when there were dolls getting delivered. What? Did they just rewind? They just showed the Concorde. They just said they were getting shipped around the world and they showed the Concorde flying. Oh, I can't stand that thing. Oh, that little fucking gleek. Wait for your wait for your savior. So the doll leader just happened to be sent to the Superfriends lair. This show is so dumb. This show is so bad. It's my favorite show just because of how terrible it is. How did he just slip out of his hands? Can you imagine if this is what you had to do for your pop? Form of a bucket of water. Ice vault. I love when he forms like ice rockets. How does he form a rocket ship with propulsion out of ice? The Wonder Twins. I hate the Wonder Twins so much. And the only way they can do that is if they're touching. If you separate them, they're stuck in their mode. Oh, it's so stupid. Seriously, the dumbest show. Just absolutely the dumbest show. Did you check the box one more time? Another thing of the Concorde. Did you see that? There was another. So the Concorde has been in this twice. It's crazy how we've forgotten about the Concorde. The Concorde used every year, all the time. It was in every like growing up. I wanted to fly on the Concorde.
Rich people fast jet.
But in comparison, it really wasn't even that. It was worth it, I guess. I mean, it really doesn't make any sense why it would cost any more. It didn't like require, diamond version of the fuel. My wife just got her Christmas present.
Vitamins.
Good to be old. Old to be good. I want to look something up. Nope. Are you waiting for that to spill?
Gotta make a whole new section for you.
Free frankincense is where it's at.
That makes frankincense.
We got an adaptive.
R.I.P. Charlie. You were a good dude. It really sucks that you had the issues and hang-ups you did. Life is fucking crazy, man. Okay, so what the fuck?
Got a new Christmas ornament.
Sweet. The Concorde is a retired Anglo-French supersonic airliner jointly developed and manufactured by Sud Aviation and the British Aircraft Corporation, BAC. Studies began in 1954. This is so important, you guys listen to this. In 1954, and a UK-France treaty followed in 1962. As the program cost was estimated at 70 million or 1.68 billion in 2020. A lot more by today's standards. Construction began in February of 65 with the first flight from Toulouse on March 2nd, 1969. The market forecast was 350 aircraft, with manufacturers receiving up to 100 options from major airlines. On October 9th, 1975, it received its French certificate of airworthiness, and from the UK CAA on December 5th. There you go. That thing was badass. How come we don't have anything? That thing is thing looks. And we just don't have this anymore. This just isn't a technology we have anymore. We could come up with it in the 50s. Concorde is an aircraft design with a narrow fuselage permitting 4 abreast seating for 92 to 128 passengers. An ogival an oval wing and a droop nose for landing visibility. It is powered by 4 Rolls-Royce Synechma Olympus 593 turbojets with variable engine intake ramps and reheat for takeoff and acceleration to supersonic speed. Constructed from aluminium, it was the first airliner to have analog fly-by-wire flight controls, meaning it was the first airliner to be 100% controlled by computers. The airliner had transatlantic range, cost overruns, pushed costs to 1.5 to 2.1 billion in 1976, the equivalent of 11 billion to 16 billion in 2023. Concorde entered service. So wait. Who, if it was developed by the military, doesn't that mean it was we paid for it? It wasn't actually a privately owned. So somebody ends up using it in private for their. Concorde entered service on January 21st, 1976 with Air France and Paris. Concorde entered service on January 21st, 1976 with Air France and Paris Rosé. And from Paris Rosé. And from May 24th and to New York JFK 17. And British Airways remain the sole customers with 7 airframes each for a total of 20. Supersonic more than halved travel times, but Sonic limited it to transatlantic ocean flights, transoceanic flights only. Oh shit! It's the monster that makes the exact same monster noise that all monsters make. Its only competitor was the Tupolev Tu-144, carrying passengers from November 7, 1977 until May. The Boeing 2707 was canceled in 1971 before any prototypes were built. So we're talking about this other time. Different. Here's one of the competitors with a very similar design that I'd never heard of. But again, I guess this only operated in 88 to 83, so I wouldn't remember it. And then the Boeing 2707, they designed one too. But they just were like, why would we want to offer, sub-supersonic flights half the time, essentially cost less money, quicker travel? Who's going to pay for that? If you had all the money, you were a rich person, and you traveled back and forth from, the States to Europe and whatnot and whatever, wouldn't you pay the extra money to half the time that you spent playing? On July 25th, 2000, Air France Flight 490 crashed shortly after takeoff with all 109 occupants and 4 on the ground killed. This was the only fatal incident involving Concorde. Commercial service was suspended until November of 2001. The remaining aircraft were retired in 2003, 27 years after commercial operations began. 18 of the 20 aircraft built are preserved and are on display in Europe and North America. So, I would be shocked if 20 aircraft running over 27 years would generate enough profit to offset the incredible cost, the billions of dollars it costs. Well, maybe I'm wrong.
I don't think.
I mean, I don't know. It just doesn't seem like. I mean, 109, 120 passengers at a time. How many flights would you have to make? And what would those flights cost to be able to profit? To turn, like, how long would it take before you'd even turn a profit?
Right.
You're talking about, what did they say? It swelled to 2.1 billion in 76, which was 11 to 16 billion in 2023 money. That's it would take you
Blah, blah, blah,
forever.
blah.
But even at like $1,000 a flight, $12,000 or $120,000 per flight, you're still billions would take so long. Karen, that's a weird thing for you to say. In the early 50s, Arnold Hall, director of the Royal Aircraft Establishment, RAE, asked Maureen Morgan to form a committee to study supersonic transport. The group met in February 1950. Wait, and then think, like, why would they shut down operations after one crash? Could you imagine? You have one crash over 27 years, and you're like, oh, shit. Wrap that shit up. That's dangerous. I wonder how many plane crashes every other company had in that 27-year time frame.
Right.
And how many other companies were like, oh, shit, we had one crash. Let's end it. Let's end this highly profitable monopoly we have on supersonic flight. It's just, it doesn't make sense. Even if it was like there are maintenance issues and whatnot. Yeah, that happens with everything. Oh. I don't understand. This is fucking weird. Supersonic transport. The group met in February 1954 and delivered their first report in April of 1955. So it took them a year to deliver a first report? Like, what were they doing? What kind of... And then again, I mean, think about what 1954 looked like. They had those big giant blackboards that they had to use ladders on because they never thought to turn that shit sideways. I mean, really. What how are how are they developing these kinds of things without computers back then? You can't make, you can't do like a wind tunnel. You can't simulate. There's no simulation. Remember? Everything that exists has to exist in reality. There is no, it's just, how would you even begin to test that shit? And to think like they figured out flying like 50 years before that, and now we're already at the supersonic flight. I just at this exact same time, literally at the exact same time, they decided that they were going to also have nuclear powered submarines. And they just had him. They just fucking had him. All right, I'm going to sit here for another minute or two while we run through this thing. I'm so sick of the 3 people thing. 2,500 subscribers. I got 3 watchers. So, you know what? before I continue, I want to read you something that a friend of mine sent me through Facebook Messenger, so I'm not going to be able to see the comments until I'm done. But in all seriousness, I did find it nonsensical to me for them to retire such a service, which of course would still be fully available money wise for ready users. I got 6 on the screen watching. I got 4. Yeah, no, and you have the monopoly on it. If anybody is rich and wants to travel that way, they have to use you. I want you guys to hear what a friend of mine said, who is very religious. It's really weird. She's one of those super hot girls. Like in high school, she was super hot. Obviously, she's gotten older or whatever. We've all gotten older. But she was really really like strikingly beautiful when she was younger. Like you you guys would nobody would disagree. Nobody. My wife maybe because she hates blondes. But this is the type of girl who could just, she would just, like, she's the one that walks in the room and it doesn't matter who the guy's with. He's like, hey, who is she? She was really that beautiful. She says, thanks, guy. I would love to listen to your smart. She doesn't get her yours right. Like, it's kind of strange, but she says, I've been drinking, so if I listen, I might be a little off. I still might, though. I see. You know what? I'm going to send this to her. Um, I love you and your family, and I wish the best for them. Thank you for your intelligence and the beauty of seeing your wife stick up for you on social media when others claim down you. That's my wife. I appreciate that. I don't know what this is supposed. I see no one on this earth has the perfect wisdom of God. I believe no one on this earth has the perfect wisdom of God at any time. I hope you can one day become even smarter than you are and become more gifted than you are with the wisdom of Jesus to refute your enemies. What? What? I don't have an issue refuting my own enemies, and I would feel really dumb saying, "Well, it's because I have faith." Well, Jesus, that would just that's not how you refute anything. Sorry for preaching and teaching Jesus. Perhaps I could have put it into other words. I know you tell me you don't really believe in Jesus, but I see the Father and Son in you with your belief in Him, even if you refute it. So, sorry if I upset you. Thanks for the invite and your wisdom on YouTube, and thanks for saying we can all learn from each other. And I like seeing that in your beliefs you told people on social media. I'm giving you my beliefs, and if you want to try and refute me, I don't mind being humbled because I want your opinion versus mine. So I personally can tell you the actual truth and what's going on. But see, that's the funny thing is, that's not how it works. She's been here before, and there's literally no sort of refuting what I'm saying or, like this idea of like, I mean, I don't mind being humbled. There is no humbling. There is no, oh, you know what? Maybe I'm wrong or I didn't see it that way. I hope you have enough humility to deal with the people who don't believe in what you're saying at times when you are right. What humility would I need there? I also hope you can become more smart, like we all wish with God until we die when talking to God. Advisory, well, I mean, at least God wishes that for ourselves more than ourselves. Definitely been drinking. I hope you have the knowledge to at least listen to the people who are so mean to you, which often happens to us when we are in the public eye. Keep the faith you have, which is zero. I hope you could see what some of these people are saying on social media when they are giving you love, that when you know they are doing it, that you don't turn away. I said the problem is you're wrong. And it's okay to be wrong, but not accepting the truth, like Christianity, God is all Jewish control, is dangerous. Why doesn't God, Jesus, appear, visit Netanyahu and gang and tell them to stop killing Christian children? She said, he is all over social media. I learned that from you. It's weird. That's a weird. It's weird. Like, that is. That is Christian. If you served chicken fingers not knowing what a chicken is, would you think a chicken was a strange creature? Sure. Yeah, yeah. I think we live in a society where people will be like, "No, I'm not going to eat a dog." Here, wait. Here, your phone.
Yeah, I'm just. Oh, is this?
Um, where people will be like, "I won't eat a dog, but serve me up a pig, no problem, or a cow, or a chicken, an alligator, or whatever." I'm really interested to see where you go with this one. Yeah, I'm really interested to see how you turn this into God.
No.
Are you saying God is the chicken that I didn't know is a chicken? So I think it's a strange creature?
Put it in Discord.
It's weird.
Yeah. Well,
It's fucking weird, man.
showing up with nothing. It does matter.
It's crazy. It doesn't. That's why everybody tells you the same thing. Life is really good about this, right? She has this, these rules that she just lays forth. And it doesn't matter what anybody says. It doesn't matter what ends up happening. She says, nope, this is how it is. And that's the only way it can be. And, and it's just the strangest shit. I never understand it. Like, you know, we have a neighbor across the street that every once in a while, when the check doesn't show up, we might borrow $100. And every time she gets all mad and it turns into all this bullshit. And it's like, dude, they have told us in the past, if we're ever in this position, don't hesitate to ask. When they need something, they ask us. It's a give and take. It's not a big deal. We're all like a little community here to help each other. Like, it's all good. It's not like you take advantage of it. It's not, every once in a while, I understand that happens. And usually, we don't borrow the money because we're overextended. We borrow the money because the check doesn't show up or whatever it may be. But yet, every single time, it's like, in order to do it, she has to, I'm really against this. I don't want to do this. It's like, yeah, we know. But, you don't have to beat yourself up and beat everybody else up. And, it's not a big deal. Would you beat somebody else up if they came to you and you knew their situation and they were struggling and their check didn't show? Or would you be like, oh my God, I hate them so much? No. You'd be like, yeah, no problem. Why did you hesitate? When our friend down the street, when he is like, holy shit, I'm in a bad spot. This and that happened. I don't have this. Can I borrow some money? Normally, she'll double it. He'll ask for 50, and she'll be like, let's just give him 100. You do for friends, because they're in a spot. Somebody's borrowing 50 or $100, that's barely enough to get them through. They're just, especially if they're only trying to get 50. $50, that's a, tank of gas.
He's got a big truck.
Right.
Not even a full tank.
Right. Well, so would you ever, wouldn't you, if you knew that he was in a bad spot and he went a couple of days longer than he should have because he was too embarrassed to come ask for if he could borrow some money, would you be mad at him for that? When you be mad at him, like, dude, why would you do that? I'm here for you. I'm your friend. I'm here to help you. When you, that's how you'd be like, dude, why the fuck? Why would you suffer? I don't want my friends to suffer. You know, you'd be mad at him for that. So why do you think it's different when it's you? I just don't get it. I don't get, like, when you're shown that something isn't something, and you go, yeah, well, I'm going to still think it's this way, because, and it's not like you think it's this way is the good thing. It's not like you're looking for the good in somebody no matter how many times they shit on you. You're beating yourself up, and you're, Thaddeus! What's up? Thaddeus is my hero. Yeah, that is kind of weird. We allow for some animals for food, but others are sacred. And it has been proven even chicken can feel pain and have personalities. Absolutely they do. Absolutely they do. Where'd the chicken come from? What did the chicken evolve from? I wish I could be disciplined enough to be vegetarian. LOL. I blame the carnivore husband. Yeah, it's, you know what it is? It's the programming. It's that you've grown up eating these foods, and not only do they taste good, but they trigger memories that you might not even think about. But it affects you on such a different level. You know? Thanksgiving rolls around and you're a vegetarian and you're like, no thanks, no thanks, no thanks. The food loses all its pizzazz, it's fun, it becomes sustenance, and that part sucks. It gets really boring. But from a health perspective, you know, if I was in certain situations and had any sort of ailments or anything, that would be the first thing I would do, is cut meat out, because it is a huge difference. And your carnivore husband who loves you should support you on that, even if it's for a short period. Like, I don't know, it's weird. It's weird. It's just like anything else, and once you stop doing it, it sort of it becomes easier than you think it's going to. But then I don't know. Food is a really hard one. It really is. That's your, I agree. Programming and TV is a show, commercial, and then the rest. Oh, it's crazy. Everything is food based. They're even nowadays. They're even like doing the meta joke where they're like, football is about selling food. Uber Eats says football is about selling food, and yeah, it's just it's all it's all prior propaganda, man. It really comes down to. So there's something that's happening in the sports card world that, I'm sure none of you who don't collect cards give a shit about. But PSA is the number one card grading service. They provide the number one service. They have the biggest market share. And then the second was Beckett. And if you know anything, you know that name Beckett. Well, PSA just bought Beckett. And Beckett only had like a 3% of the market share. And PSA bought them out. Why did PSA buy them out? To destroy them. To get every last, any competition, any money that they don't get is money lost. And PSA is this billion, quadrillion dollar company. They make so much fucking money. To think that they had to buy out their competition just so they could eventually destroy the competition. Just, get rid of that. Like, you think about that. Like, what is the purpose? Who lives like that? Who thinks that that if there's something, I need to get it all? $1 billion isn't enough for me. I need $1 billion and 10,000 that company's getting. Like, are we like that? Is that who we are as people? Do you feel like you need to crush everybody else just so you can be number one? You're rich beyond your wildest dreams, but you still just need to crush that other company, which is going to in turn cost jobs and affect families and all that other shit. It's a really weird thing is that PSA being this huge company, this multi-billion-dollar company, All of the sports card companies, actually, they're all owned and operated by friars who give millions of dollars to Israel every year. And it is so fucked up. It is so fucked up. And PSA is the only company that charges you. If they grade your card and it comes back a high grade, making it worth more than X amount, they upcharge you. And if your card happens to be worth, $100,000, then you're gonna have to pay, $10,000 to get it to get it back. Not just to get it graded. If you send it to PSA and they grade it and they decide it's worth this much more than whatever, they decide it's this grade and then it's worth this much and you need to pay the upcharge. They'll hold on to your shit until you pay them. They won't even give it back to you. But if you're someone like me who's like, I don't want to sell my shit, I'm not rich. So you're telling me if I happen to send one of my good cards to you and you grade it and it comes back valuable, you're going to charge me to get it back? This shit is so crazy. And then that money that they upcharge, that they arbitrarily upcharge to you,
No, I'm.
percentages of that go to Israel.
Is coming in like a machine gun right now, so I don't know.
It's
Might be one of them.
what are we talking about? Like, I mean, I'm so overwhelmed by all of it. And then there's this Christian piece that is happening that's scaring the shit out of me. I'm terrified right now. I'm so terrified right now. And it's because I see these Christians sort of like rallying, and like Christians are really dumb. And Christians are dangerous. And what happens when the Christians, finally get pushed? Like, why does every single truther stop at Christianity? Every single one of them. You can't watch a truther. You can't watch an Ian Carroll. You can't watch a Nick Fuentes. Nick Fuentes is a Catholic, so it's even worse. There's not a single one of those guys out there that talks to you from the perspective of, hey, Christianity is part of that friar control scheme, friar network. None of them. Some of them talk about incredible stuff. I learn a lot from some of these guys. And yet, part of me can't help but, why am I learning what they want me to learn? That story came out this year, a couple months ago, that Israel was paying influencers $7,000 a month to secretly either promote Israel or just don't talk about certain things. Basically, just to manipulate. And the identities of those being paid was withheld, but they were spending billions on it. They had billions allocated for this operation, whatever the fuck this one's called. And yet, it's just another one of these things that has completely fucking disappeared. Seriously. This is such a big deal. But it's the same thing as Team Jorge. It's the same thing as Act.il. It's the same thing as the Bottom of Darkness article. There's an obviousness here that seems to be missed by so many people. And why are we giving Israel so much money? They are a wealthy nation for Christ's sake. Wealthy because of us. Yeah, that's it too. But that is, you and I have had multiple back and forths about this. And you've been asking the same question for a very long time. And I've been giving you an answer of which you agreed with to some degree, but because you had a few friends that were nice to your face, as long as you played along, you were hesitant. And as time progressed, you started testing those waters, because I told you, Those people are only nice to you because you play along. They do not give a shit about you. You are the gay guy. You are the goofy gay white guy that they hang out with sometimes and whatever. You're good for a laugh. You're fun to hang out with. But you don't matter to them. And as soon as you start stepping out of line, they're going to try to put you in your place. And you fought with me on that. You disagreed with me on that. And I'm not throwing you under the bus and I'm not talking shit. I'm explaining an experience that a lot of people will have if they do the same thing you did. And I want to know, like what you asked the question, why do we give Israel? But the answer is, you know it, right? You know what that answer is. You've just been told you're not allowed to say it. And as I always said, why? It's not even like it's necessarily, if it's not a bad thing unless it is a bad thing. You know what I mean? It's like, if it's okay, if there's nothing sneaky or shitty going on, then why is this a bad thing? And I just, I am fascinated by the transition, by the growth, by the journey that someone like you has been on, as opposed to someone like me, because I've been on this ride the whole time. I've gotten to see it from a different perspective of someone who was the pariah, was the outsider, was, even my peoples like you would turn against me for saying certain things. Now, holy shit, this guy was right the whole time. You know, what the hell do we do? Like it's oh shit. I can't open. But like I think if you express the turmoil and the dilemma, the duality, the inner struggle that you went with, that you experienced over these last couple years, especially, that you could help a lot of people. I think there are a lot of people out there who are in a very similar position to you. That building just fell from how far and didn't shatter and kill everybody inside? There's that monster again, except this time it's a dinosaur. Dinosaur, dinosaur, lizard king and the dinosaur. Again, it's weird. Like people always act like I'm talking shit or something because I'm telling the truth. I'm not talking shit at all. I'm grateful you're here. I'm grateful to have your opinion on things. I'm grateful for you to share your experience because it's unique. Well, actually, it's less unique. You know, it's one that lots of people could share or maybe do share because you've seen it. You've seen how different people are differently people are looking at things now compared to pre-COVID, COVID times, whatever. Pre October 7th, 2023. They had a lot more sympathy prior to the false flag attack where no Israelis died or were taken hostage, and Israel then responded by genocide. And I always ask people like, like how did you? I get that since October 7th you've seen that it's been shit, crazy, awful. What stopped you prior? Is it just because you didn't see it? And because you didn't see it, what? Someone like me was just lying? And if I wasn't in fact lying, how do do I now get your respect in that regard? That maybe in things that you might not know yet, that there's no malicious intention or agenda behind what I'm doing other than trying to figure out the truth? Yeah, there are reports the military was told to stand down October 7th. So October 7th didn't happen. Not like you think it did. And it's like Bondi Beach, man. It's like any of these things where, boy, if you actually, let me ask you this. Where's the big time investigation into October 7th to validate all of Israel's claims and justify their actions? Because no matter how you slice it, there's been a pretty substantial response by Israel and by the United States. So, what have you been shown to justify these actions? That even if 1,129 people were in fact killed and some 250 taken hostage, even if that was true, has the response been proportionate? I mean, do you think, killing 600,000 plus people and taking thousands and thousands and thousands more hostage is like, you think that's a proper response? It was shut down by the corrupt Netanyahu. Netanyahu's kind of like Trump, man. Netanyahu does what he's told. Netanyahu is the face. Netanyahu is the figurehead. But he, I mean, I'm shocked by how brazen they're getting. Miriam Adelson is just parading herself around like we can't see her. You're seeing it almost like they just, I don't know, it's almost like they're challenging us. It's a genocide. Yeah, but it's just like everything else. Like, what you don't understand, so you're a big Holocaust believer still. What you don't understand is that the colonization of Palestine began long, long before that. So this whole thought process that because of this World War II scenario that somehow the Palestinians have to pay the price, and like, people just don't understand. Did you know, how about this, Dave? I'd love for you to ask your Jewish friends this. That in 1933, this is before the whole camps, and this is before anything was bad. The Nazis and the Jewish Federations, that was their title, inked a deal called the Havara Agreement, which allowed 60,000 Russian Jews to migrate, to colonize, to move to Palestine and start colonizing Palestine while taking all of their wealth. Their wealth was allowed to be transferred as well. So from 33 to 39, 60,000 German Jews were moved. Their move was paid for by the government, by the Nazi government. Does that sound like the narrative you were told? Did you ever hear that narrative in school? I would love for somebody to claim they heard about the Havara Agreement in school, because I know I never did. I never knew what the Jays were all about until I seen you and started looking into it. And have I told a fucking lie? Has anything I said either been, porky pies or exaggerated, fucking, have I done anything but tell the truth? Oh, look at that. Get the fuck out of here. That is for
Last night of Hanukkah tonight or something?
I don't know.
I don't know either.
They make up 2% of the United States population. Think about how ridiculous that is. Go ahead, Al. I want to watch turtles. Turtles are stupid. The lizards that live underground and eat pizza. They commit genocide and then wonder why they are being targeted around the world. They have no reflection on how their behavior has caused some of this hatred. Some of this hatred, all of this hatred. It's all extremely well-deserved and well-earned. And their arrogance and their entitlement and their supremacy is just, it's unrivaled. I'm pretty sure it's always been bad. Yes, I know about the 33 Havara agreement. So how does that fit the narrative that we're told? Yes, you have said a lot of bullshit. Let's be real. Yep, see? So at the time when this clown, this pedo clown could point out any single thing that I've gotten wrong, we're going to go with the I've gotten a lot wrong thing. We're going to go with the blanket statement because blanket statements are all they ever have. By all means, tell me how. Tell me how. Tell me, give me one thing I've been wrong about, you clown. And I'm sure Jesus, you're wrong about Jesus, right? With zero proof, zero reason, zero understanding. We know. We know how stupid you are. Gotcha. You got your entertainment, or you got your attention, so I hope that was your entertainment. But, nigga, please. Honey, honey. Tobias is my favorite character on the show. All right. I don't care to read anymore about the Concord. I'm not interested anymore. Not today. I also know they have no true claim to the land. They were a tiny minority for the past few hundred years until the late 1800s and early 1900s. Yeah, but what do you even know about that? How do you know that's true? Have you walked down the Tartaria path yet? That is, I've tried to show you for years now, and I know you and Michael got, you watched one video one time, and it was so crazy you couldn't make it through 10 minutes. Blah blah blah. Yeah, nothing, couldn't point to anything wrong. But have you fallen into the Tartaria hole yet? I challenge anyone to look up the history of the Pentagon. I think the Pentagon is such a fantastic, fascinating building. And it's amazingly ignored by the Tartaria community. You know, all the people that are allowed to have these huge channels where they get paid. And surprisingly, they mention the tiny hats. They might say this or that, like, kind of a little bit. But for the most part, they only distract. They only talk about what they're supposed to talk about. My lunch break. You guys see that guy? I couldn't tell you who that guy is. But my lunch break, man, he sure is allowed to have a great feed, and he sure does produce some very high quality videos almost daily, man. What can you tell me about the Galactic Federation? Not a goddamn thing. Yes, I have been looking at it. It doesn't make sense to me as far as a timeline. I do believe there was ancient civilization that was wiped out about 12,000 years ago. So you've seen the Pentagon, haven't you, Thaddeus? You think the Pentagon, the site for the Pentagon was selected on September 2nd, 1941. The plans were finalized and everything was signed off, and construction started on 9/11, 1941, which, the attacks were the 60th anniversary of, not 59. 60th anniversary. And they built all of the Pentagon by January 26th, 1943. Just around 14 months. 14 and a half months if you include literally all of the planning for this monumental fucking job. It took them a little over a year to repair from the attacks on 9/11. It took them a year to repair that small section. They built the whole thing in 14 months. By the way, I called out the aliens. It took a picture. Then Mufon, Kazuna, and the UFO. And the only most rare ones. I have no idea what you're talking about. You know, you live in New York, Thaddeus. You are literally surrounded by buildings that make no fucking sense. I mean, you could literally go outside right now and stand in front of a building that was supposedly built in 1920, a skyscraper with ornate everything everywhere, built in just over a year. I'll take another look at that Pentagon conspiracy. That timeline does sound suspect. You can't look at the Pentagon conspiracy unless you watch my video because nobody else talks about it. None of the other, I don't know, agent truthers, I guess, even begin to talk about the Pentagon. And it to me is like it's the biggest fucking building out there. Don't you think it should have had a big old I don't want to say target on it, but like shouldn't everybody be like look at that shit? What the fuck is that shit? 14 months, over 2 winters. Started in September and ended in January. Shipping companies. The Pentagon is 5 stories above ground and 2 stories below ground that they tell us. They were able to excavate all of that dirt and take it where? Where did they put all that dirt? They built a well, again, I don't even want to say, 2 floors below ground, 5 stories above ground in 14 fucking months. You've been in New York for a long time. You've seen how long it takes them with modern day equipment to build one of those ugly ass modern square box piece of shit buildings. That takes years. Years. And it'll be right next to some ornate, beautiful building that has sculptures and designs and carvings, and you go inside and it's just marble and just everything. It's just insane how beautiful these buildings are. That again, how do they stay hidden? How do they stay, especially in New York? Think about this. Think about it's the 1920s. You're in a skyscraper on the 50th floor in New York on January 22nd. Can you imagine how cold it would be? How were they keeping warm back then? What source were they using to consistently keep those huge cities worth of skyscrapers warm? How are they doing that? How much coal? Where was all this coal coming from? What trucks were bringing the coal in every fucking day to supply all of these buildings with their endless supply of coal to heat these magic furnaces that nobody even talks about?
Didn't they just have fireplaces in all the suites?
Maybe some of them had had fireplaces. Not every fucking in the penthouse, maybe. But what about all the floors beneath it? Where were their fireplaces? And if they did have fireplaces, how the fuck did they do that? These are such mundane details. You're so wrapped up in the in the conspiracy. In the worldwide conspiracies and the trafficking networks and the drugs and the wars and the genocides. And how did they heat the buildings? It's those small details that fall through the crack. There's the horseshit crisis of whatever it was in New York. New York literally had one horseshit crisis. They said it would take 275 modern day dump trucks every single day to get rid of all the shit that the hundreds of thousands of horses would produce. And where was all the water for those horses coming from? Horses drink between 10 and 30 gallons of water a day. Where are they getting all that drinking water from? In New York City. The Statue of Liberty is a good subject. Yeah, but it's pretty well done, and there's a lot of people that have talked about it. It is fantastic. I mean, it's you know, sure have been a lot of Statue of Liberties that have gone up since then, huh? All those different Statue of Liberties. You know, what about the Brazil, the Jesus thing in Brazil? That story has virtually you can't find much information about that shit. How they just built that huge thing on the top of the mountain. Yeah, no problem. They claim it was a 4-year job done in 17 months due to wartime pressures. Having 15,000 workers working in shifts to get it done. I mean, sounds plausible. It was wartime. No, it doesn't. That is, okay, so you have 15,000 workers there. It's 1940. 15,000 workers in shifts, 3 shifts. So that's 45,000 workers. Is that how we're doing it? Or is it 5,000 worker shifts? Where are all these workers staying? Who's feeding all of these workers? Where is all this extra food coming from? What shipping networks did they have? The Pentagon is no fucking concrete, boring ass structure. The Pentagon is beautiful. Unnecessarily beautiful for a war building. Go ahead and try to find some Pentagon construction photos. And I know people will be, that's national security. No, it's not. You're telling me from not even from a couple blocks away, not a single person ever decided to snap a photo of the Pentagon being built at any sort of stages whatsoever. You look up Pentagon construction photos and you're going to find like 5 photos that could be anything, anytime, anywhere. Trust me, you're not just going to debunk this in 5 minutes. I've spent hours doing this. I've spent hours chasing the lead designer, the lead architect. It was him and another guy who formed their company to build the Pentagon. The U.S. government didn't decide to use like the best guys for the job, the most well-established company that was, known for building all of this, that, and the other. No, they went with these 2 guys that were on the West Coast. And they brought them here. And halfway through, the head designer was removed from everything due to inappropriate relations. You can't really find anything else on it. The claim that the Pentagon would have taken 4 years to build, I doubt that. Yet, have you seen the video of the guy talking to the John Cena chat GPT? And he's talking to it about the original Yankee Stadium's construction.
$50 million.
John, let's see. Yankee Stadium. John Cena. Let's see. We're not going to. Oh, that's not coming up anymore? Huh, let's see. Chat GPT. Let's try this. Oh, okay, here we go. You should look this up. This only has 2.5 thousand views on it. How the fuck does this have only 2.5 thousand? When was this Tartarian civilization destroyed? I don't know. I think it adds to the idea that the whole TV show theory. That clearly the world that was capable of building star forts and these magnificent structures all over the world that all happen to look alike except for like places like India and shit like that where it's just it's on another level. Those people had to be on the same page. Those people had to be a unified people to be able to do that. And I think that once we get to the point where we're boring and there's no more conflict, they reset the show. So, you know, all I know is like anything over about 150 years old is hearsay. But even then, you're far too trusting when it comes to everything. Because, you know, you say, oh, well, this guy said it. Well, that guy was alive and he said it. You don't know who that guy was. You don't know who that guy works for. You don't know if he's reading a script or he's just a good improv and they told him, you know, go with it. You have no idea. Our history is bullshit in every capacity. Every single thing I ever look into, every single fucking thing in the most surprising ways is bullshit. And there's just so much more that doesn't even get thought about. Did you know that the Chinese were supposedly running gas lines underneath the ground to light and heat their homes as early as 500 BC using bamboo? And yet Europe, white people didn't figure that shit out until the 1800s, late 1800s, when it suddenly exploded and now suddenly we had everybody had gas lights in front of their house, gas lanterns, and houses were being lit and heat by gas systems running underground, and it's all bullshit, man. Who put on all this technology? How did they just did how were they capturing shit? Like Thaddeus, again, even something like dry ice. If you look into dry ice, that shit does not make sense. Dry ice is so carbon dioxide comes in two forms at this atmospheric pressure, solid and gas. It sublimes, that's what it's called, right from solid to gas, which is why dry ice has that cool effect that people pay for. Because it doesn't have a liquid state at our atmospheric temperature and pressure. The only way you can get liquid carbon dioxide is to refrigerate it to well below zero while also keeping it under at least 75 pounds per square inch psi of pressure. Dry ice was first observed in 1835 when
Can I ask you a quick question? 1835 dry ice. What's the other pedo hunter group? DAP, and what's the other one you said? There's
Lots
two
of
main
them.
ones that you watch.
There's lots of them. Just I don't know.
It's one that you always tell me about. That's why I'm asking.
I mean,
DAP
I
and
talk about predator poachers.
Predator poachers. Thank
Okay.
you. Sorry. Dry
Um,
ice, 1835, 1935.
It was first observed when this guy opened a cylinder of liquid carbon dioxide, and as it evaporated, he noticed the dry ice was there. It wasn't until another 90 plus years that dry ice was then commercially manufactured. So I ask you, in 1835, what technology did we have available that could capture carbon dioxide, then refrigerate it and pressurize it to the point where it would become liquid? Do you know what one of the main ingredients in the refrigerant is? Liquid carbon dioxide. So how do you something? How do you refrigerate carbon dioxide gas to the point where it turns into liquid? If the liquid carbon dioxide is what's used in the refrigerant. Are you getting this? What came first, the chicken or the egg? What came first, the refrigerant or liquid carbon things down to below 0 in 1835 and then putting it into some sort of container, pressurized container, heavily pressurized container, that could then be shipped by the liquid carbon dioxide company of the fucking time. What are we talking about here? How do they get liquid CO2 to make liquid CO2? Science said the egg, lol. I think chickens are surviving dinosaurs. Why? Why? Because they told you to? Oh, it's such a silly thing. Dinosaurs and all that shit is all just so fucking silly. I can't even begin to go into it now. But it's just, I mean, if dry ice doesn't make sense, why do you believe in dinosaurs? Why do you believe in Jesus? They're lying about everything. George Washington is not real. Ben Franklin is not real. You know, these are just characters. The historical record is just a narrative that was given, a ChatGPT narrative. ChatGPT is much older than you think it is. And it was used to you know, it's the reason why so much of our history, instead of history lining out the farther back you go, it actually comes together. So you'll start hearing the same names over and over again the further back you go. And that's not how it should be. It should be the other way around. But there's guys like Cornelius Drebel that you've never heard of that is easily the fucking most impressive man of all times. Said to be able to make it thunder and lightning on command. Built the first submarine in 1620. Could stay underwater for hours, could travel 13 or 12 to 14 feet below the surface. Could transport, 15 passengers, and the King of England at the time became the first monarchy to travel underwater in 1620. And then from 1620 until modern times, until those darn Germans and their U-boats, every single submarine that was ever designed failed. And then once the United States got into the submarine making industry, once the military, they've never had a submarine accident. Not once. Not, in the history of nuclear subs, they've never had a single accident. It makes sense to you. No, it doesn't. You can't make sense of it. You just say it does. But there's nothing about it that makes sense. It's dumb as hell. The whole Big Bang bullshit is just... I've said it before. It kills me to say it. But the Big Bang Theory is dumber than religion. The Jesus God narrative makes more sense than religion, and the Jesus God narrative makes absolutely no sense. 1620 built subs, but traveled on land by horse and cart. Right. It's just dumb. I mean, Thaddeus, when it comes down to it, again, you're surrounded by buildings that make no sense. That you can't even begin to tell me. You probably live in one. You probably live in a building that does not make any sense, at least by what they tell us. You look up the history of the building you live in or the buildings around you, and it's just going to be bullshit story after bullshit story with zero account of how it came to be. There's no records. There's no, it took working like that shit just doesn't exist. Sounds like you let your arrogance sort of get in the way. And again, it's not a knock. This is just what we all do. We all like to sit here and pretend like of all of the given narratives that we are given by the same source, we know which ones are true and which ones aren't. I can tell you which narratives are the truth. I know. I don't believe the government when it tells me that Oswald shot Kennedy. Are you crazy? There's no way that fucking regular guy got off 3 shots in 8 seconds, one of which being the magic bullet. Nope. And then Jakob Rubenstein, is allowed to kill him in front of the entire police department. Nope. Didn't happen. I'm not dumb enough to believe that. My government is lying to me. Okay, cool. You believe your government is lying to you. Why are they lying to you? Well, duh. They're lying to you for control. It's about control. Oh, okay, cool. So tell me again about Ben Franklin. Go on, tell me. Tell me how you knew Ben Franklin used to hang out and all the stories about him are just true because you know Ben Franklin was known to be traveling back and forth from Europe to America back in the 17th. Was it the 17th? Ben Franklin?
Yeah. That's me.
I know.
Dates?
Let's see, just real quick. Ben Franklin. Why is this not coming up? There we go. Come on. Ben Franklin. Oh, I'm in the wrong fucking section. What am I doing? Fake ass character. 1706 to 1790. I need to do a Ben Franklin deep dive. Ooh, that'll be fun. Guys, it's all bullshit. It's all friar bullshit. And the thing is, too, again, like, Thaddeus, you haven't been here day after day. When we're reading into it, where I'm reading you the narrative that we're supposed to know, and your common sense detectors are just going, nope, that's bullshit, nope, that's bullshit, nope, bullshit. I just reject your chaos theory. What chaos theory? See, you have to, like, come up with your own weird shit here. If nothing can be trusted and it's all fake, well, that's no fun and not a world I care to live in. I guess it's a leap of faith. No, there's no faith required. Everything that you believe in is faith. And I don't understand. What is chaos? There's no chaos here. I'm not talking about chaos. I'm talking about absolute total control. It's the opposite. What I'm talking about is a completely manufactured reality where every single thing we think and do and all that is preordained, is given to us. Your entire concept of history, your entire concept. I mean, again, you know, history tells us the Christian bullshit is true in half-assed way. It's bullshit. It's fucking stupid bullshit. It's Jewish nonsense. And yet people act like it's a historical record. It's not. And the problem being, like, again, your arrogance comes in and you think you can, I know that they're lying to me about JFK, but when they tell me this, then they're telling the truth. I know that. I'm consistent. I say, I think they're lying about everything. And until I can actually prove it, I'm going to say they're lying. Because I don't believe some dumb broad is going to hold some guy against the wall like that. He would toss her to the side like she was nothing. But this is the narrative we're given. Hollywoodism is the narrative we're given. The Havara Agreement is the narrative we're hidden. It's hidden from us. You know, auto-emancipation. Who knows about auto-emancipation? Here I am, people always talk about, well, the Balfour Declaration. And it's like, yeah. You mean the Rothschild Declaration. They just didn't want to put their names on it, so it wasn't so obvious. But that was in 1916. The auto-emancipation pamphlet is considered to be the beginnings of modern Zionism. And it literally says that anybody that questions Jewish supremacy has a mental disorder, paranoid delusions, and psychosis. That's what questioning Jewish narrative is psychosis, mental disorder, and paranoid and delusional. And it's just like you. You've been programmed to do and say the same shit. The thing is, once you realize that, okay, that's modern Zionism, but then there's proto Zionism. And you're like, wait, what? And you find out that, oh no, proto Zionism has been going on for hundreds and hundreds of years, since the 1400s. And it's just bullshit, man. You know, 1,500 people walked 3,000 miles, 2,000 miles from Germany to Palestine to start colonizing Poland or start colonizing Palestine. Like, these narratives are just dumb and nobody ever talks about it. Oh yeah, you had 1,500 people walking. How did they eat? Where did they sleep? They walked 2,000 miles? You know, you just don't understand. I don't believe the historical narrative we're given, but I know they want us to know it. And so I read into it so I can know what it says, and it just continuously proves itself to be bullshit. It's all fake, man. It's literally all fake. That's why, you know, you go to the museum and you look at all the paintings, and you look at especially the realism paintings, where they'll show you like different landscape scenes. And you just see these marvelous, fantastic buildings and structures and all this other shit. Like, that was there. That's why they painted it. They're not taking artistic license to, you know what? I'm going to paint everything accurate, but then I'm just going to throw this giant building in there. Nope. It's all bullshit, man. We're just being lied to on so many levels. And it's all bullshit. And literally, everything you look at, it doesn't take long before there's some sort of weird Jewish connection. And you start to realize that it's all just fairy tale bullshit to paint them as superior. That's the point. We're supposed to realize that we are the inferior goyim. And just look at history. It's full of a bunch of dumb shit that doesn't make sense. But hey, makes them the best, doesn't it? Look, I want you guys to have a wonderful day. There's all sorts of receipts in the description. So if you think I'm wrong or lying or whatever, everything I'm talking about, most of the things I'm talking about, the evidence is in the description. Especially the get your free download, www.the-builderberg, BILDERBERG. We have been putting out crazy great songs. Have you guys heard the new song? Wait, I got to play the new song for you real quick. But the second link is Hollywoodism. Go watch Hollywoodism. Then after you watch Hollywoodism, go read Israel Hayom, Bottom of Darkness. That's the key. That's the thing that puts it all together. That's how you ask yourself, how can you have such evil, awful people? How do you have such an entire population that can do so many horrible things? And you realize that it's because of the ritualistic sexual abuse that they do to their children and then force their children to do to create these horrible monsters. And Israel Hayom, Bottom of Darkness will show that to you. So I'm going to play the new song for you guys. I think it's awesome. Yes, your new songs have been really good, but my own comment would be a tad bit too long. You're crazy. This song's 3 minutes, 41 seconds.
Beat it down, and I'll beat you down to beat 'em down, and I'll beat you down to beat 'em down, and I'll beat you down to beat 'em down, beat 'em down, beat 'em down, and I'll beat you down to beat 'em down, and I'll beat you down to beat 'em down, and I'll beat you down to beat 'em down, beat 'em down. First of all, Free J. He's a hero among us sandwiches. Since the game sees donkeys play, it means the prizes and the damages are well earned in a big old bag of dicks to be fed to every pedo. The predilection is so cancerous that they should all be dead, so it's time to paint them red. No excuses are accepted. And since that provides the best show, Jay needs to be protected from the system, so infected with pedos top to bottom, which is why the pigs arrested the hero who says, got him. When you come across a pedo, kick him in the dick. Don't slap him in the head. No, kick him in the dick. Black and white or red, oh, kick him in the dick. Even if they got for bread, yo, kick him in the dick. Come across a pedo, kick him in the head. No, kick him in the dick. Black, white, or red bone, kick him in the dick. Even if they offer bread, yo, kick him in the dick.
It's great.
Second of all, Free J. He does what should be done. How does anybody say pedos don't deserve a gun? Pressed against their tongue, blowing out their lungs, doing the job the cops should do, removing the bottom rung. The stakes are all well done. Our judicial system's fun. Second chances only prove how useless they've become. And that's why that's one. They're agents of destruction. The Holy Trinity is dumb and the Matrix is dysfunction. When you come across a pedo, kick him in the dick. Don't slap him in the head. No, kick him in the dick. Black and white or red, oh, kick him in the dick. Even if they got for bread, yo, kick him in the dick. Come across a pedo, kick him in the dick. Don't slap him in the head. No, kick him in the dick. Black and white or red bone, kick him in the dick. Even if they offer bread, yo, kick him in the dick. Third and most importantly, Free J, you piggy pricks. We're sick of your extortion. We won't keep paying for your tricks. But is it jealousy that sticks in your craw and makes you do it? Or is it just your tiny wick that makes your seams explode with stupid? These predators are ruthless, and it's music to my ears to see them be down like Usyk as their fury disappears, since it's crocodile tears and they crumble when the crowd
This is his
sees
best
these
attempt
monster
at
pedos here. Excuse me, everybody! Beat him down, and I'll beat you down too. Beat him down, and I'll beat you
So,
down too. Beat him down, and I'll beat you down.
I mean, I don't think of us as like a rap group, right? So, as a rap group and not somebody that makes pop songs, we're not making songs to be, fit that narrative. Some of them are gonna be 6 minutes. Some are gonna be 6:35, like Anima or whatever you want to say, or a Perfect Drug. That's a Nine Inch Nails cover. That's 6 minutes, but I wouldn't take it any other way. I believe we make songs. We don't make little jams. We have that. We're old. We have that 70s flair where sometimes it's a piece. These are pieces. This is art. Sounds great. Cheerio. Cheerio, lad. Cheerio. Have yourself a wonderful gay time tonight. Try not to suck too many dicks on your way through the parking lot. Come on. Come on. Come on. Like, gay people, if you get upset about gay jokes, you know what? You can go fuck yourself. It's one thing if it's like malicious and somebody's just being a dick. I mean, I still wouldn't get upset. I wouldn't give them the satisfaction of getting upset. But don't act like gay people don't fucking make fun of straight people all the time. All the time.
Hello?
You guys are ripping the shit out of us all the time. Making fun of all the dudes that are, that guy has to go home and deal with some broad's bullshit. Hey, you want to go spend our dual income out doing something fun with our no kids and then come home and have sex? And the other guy will be like, yes, I do. And that'll be all, and that's it. That's how that works.
Probably.
You don't have to do, like, you make fun of us all the fucking time. Don't act like you don't. You know, especially like,
Totally.
you know, macho. Hey, I'm gonna sleep with all the girls. I'm the blah blah. That guy. Come on, that guy's hilarious to me.
That's what I'm doing.
Once you start saying that your group can't be made fun of, that's when things get too weird. You know, I was talking about fleas with you know, the flea conversation came up,
Yeah.
and my sister-in-law was on the phone with my wife, and I'm like, you know, you better not deal with that, because fleas love fucking hairy lesbian legs. There's nothing mean about that. Her legs are hairy. You know, it's just, you know, I was
I was
I
listening
don't
to
know.
you.
We
I
are,
didn't say anything.
we become so tight about everything, and everybody thinks
Yeah, she
like
said she paid her
their
half.
feelings matter more than anyone else's, and you know, all kinds of bullshit. And at the end of the day, man, nobody gives a shit about your fucking weird dysfunction. If you let somebody throw you off, if you let somebody put you in a bad mood or something like that, especially some dumb stranger, you're the idiot. You're the asshole.
I swear to God.
You know, you get cut off on the way to work,
Yeah.
and you come home that night and you're bitching about it to your wife.
Everybody's struggling right now.
You're the asshole.
17 this week.
You know, what's wrong with you? Just let it go. It doesn't fucking matter. It's
Everybody's in the same
disgusting.
boat.
Shit.
Yeah. Right. Well, if something changes, I'll call you.
It's wild. It's wild. Anyway,
Right,
like I say, go check out all the receipts in the description. You'll see I have lots of links. Team Jorge, Havara Agreement, Auto Emancipation, you know, the Israel Hayom Bottom of Darkness is a really hard read. Not to mention, it'll kick you off over and over again. They try to not let you read it. And this isn't some fly-by-night. This is Israel's #1 free weekly. It's Sheldon Adelson's baby. It's this article is all about not just how the ritual sexual abuse is everywhere, but how it's covered up and how the excuses are made by even the good guys. Because even the good guys say, well, you know, one of the things the abusers do is make the abuse so horrendous that when the kids tell the adults don't believe them. Like, that's a fucking thing. Like, there's a person out there that could, you know, that their kid could tell them, hey, I was abused very severely. That's why I have all these marks and my personality changed. And they'll be like, no, you didn't. Shut up. Especially in a society where they already know that shit happens all the time. Well, you showed up an hour and 40 minutes in, so I don't know what you expected to be happening at an hour and 40 minutes into something. But yeah, that's how that works. It's really not as prevalent as you make it out to be. Oh, it's not. Oh, well, then that makes it okay, doesn't it? Yeah. It's extremely prevalent. It's everywhere. North, south, east, west, all the different sects. The fact that there are so many reports of it means there's 10, 20 times more that don't get reported. But no, it's and the fact that that's your first, who says that first off? Who doesn't go, yeah, man, it's fucking horrible, but I don't think it's, you know, something. You, first thing you say is, it's not as bad as you say it is. No, it is. It is. It's as bad. It's worse. And even if it was happening once a year, but everybody knew about it, it would be too much. And everybody knows about it. So much so that Israel Hayom did an article about it, and did an article about how much they know about it. Did an article about how so many of these cases, once they are brought to the police, they're almost immediately closed and chalked up to imagination. That's not a proper society. There's got to be something else for you to focus on than ritual sexual abuse every single second of every day. Who the fuck says that? Who the fuck says something like that? You pop onto a feed an hour and 40 minutes into something where we literally just started talking about it. And you're going to tell me I should be talking about something else because I'm talking about this every single second of every single day. And even if I was talking about it every single second of every single day, what the fuck would you care? What do you want me to talk about there, sweetheart? What would make you feel better? Who the fuck says that shit? What kind of weirdo are you, man? You're not. You've stated 4 different things now, and not one of them is it condemns what's going on. What kind of weirdo are you? If I happen to click on another feed and somebody was talking about this shit, you know what I would say? Thank you so much for talking about this. It's such a tremendous problem, and we as a society need to do everything we can. Get over whatever differences we have and focus on this one particular thing, because this is outrageous. And then, if you look at it from a bigger picture standpoint, it explains how you can have people that say, well, if I don't steal your house, somebody else will. I mean, fine. I want you to be a little heavy, one little man. All right. Yep. Keep it going. Keep it going. Keep digging that hole. Keep digging that hole. I've been coming here for months, right? Isn't that weird? Why would you be coming here for months if all I do is focus on this one thing every second of every single day? I love when people complain about what I do and then acknowledge that they come here all the time. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Never does. Matt, this is the dumbass that swore up and down that civilian airplanes fly at thousands of miles per hour. When I looked it up right in front on the feed, and it says how fast is the average civilian aircraft fly, I said it was around 500 miles per hour. Turns out it's between 480 and 620 miles per hour. So, comparing the two answers, my around 500 miles per hour compared to thousands and thousands of miles per hour, you would think somebody would go, well, you know what, you got me on that one. Yeah, that was stupid. I should have said, whatever. Easily just acknowledge that you were wrong. Oh shit. I was talking about Helen Keller when I meant to be, I was talking about Anne Frank when I meant to be talking about Helen Keller. Oh shit, I was wrong. You say you're wrong, you acknowledge it, you move on. This dumbass doubles down. Doubles, triples, quadruples down. I didn't say that. Well, what'd I do? Well, you said, As soon as you show me that you can't admit you're wrong, you lose all credibility. You have an arrogant syndrome. Your GDS, your guy derangement syndrome. He's referring to commercial debts, Jen. God, you're slow. Let him. Jets go thousands of miles per hour. No. I didn't say. I was talking about commercial planes. Said it repeatedly. Looked it up. We all know what I'm talking about. And even jets don't go thousands and thousands of miles per hour. Let's see. Let's see how fast jets go. Average jet speed. The average speed for a commercial jet during its cruise phase is typically 550 to 600 miles per hour. Let's see. A Boeing 787 Dreamliner goes 564. Private jets. Nope. Let's see. Average military jet. Let's look up military. Okay. Fighter jets vary widely. Typically, subsonic cruising around 500 to 900 miles per hour. Mach 0.8 to 1.2 for fuel efficiency to supersonic bursts of over 1,500 miles per hour. Mach 2 for combat. With top speeds reaching Mach 2.2, over 1,800 miles per hour in jets like the F-22. Thousands and thousands of miles per hour. Funny how that works. I definitely don't remember that, Dan. And I was here. All you do is lie. There you go. That's all they do is lie. Like I said, even after all this time, if Dan were to even come on and be like, "You're right, you got me on that one. I was wrong, blah, blah, blah." Things might be a little different, but every time it's brought up, he responds like the same typical arrogant crybaby. And, it's the same shit. You can't get yours right. Why would the fuck would I believe a word you say? Oh, got him. Oh, stop it. You idiots don't believe in space. How dare you correct me? There you go. See? See, when it all comes down to it, now he's going to start crying. And then he's going to be like, I don't, you're so stupid. I'll be back here tomorrow. So stupid. It's the same thing. How come if I'm wrong, they never come at me the same way I come at them? How come it's never just reasonable? Like, I don't have any stake in any of this. I'm not some fucking day trader who has a whole bunch of money invested in flatearth.com and submarinessaren't-real.com. And if I can prove that submarines aren't real, then I get a bonus at the end of the year. Like, nah. It's all just fucking bullshit out there to try to figure things out. You have one young guy. He says, you have white hair, guy. And then he says, why are you walking around mocking people? Is the irony missed by everyone there? Or, you're gonna comment on how I look and then claim I'm mocking people. Ad hominem, you spelled it wrong, but HOMINEM, HOM, HOM in IN NEM, I believe. Pure hypocrisy. Autocorrect changed it to that. That's weird. I think that's a different version of homonym. I think that's how you spell it different. I don't care. Whatever. Here the comment correcting your level of maturity to your hair color. Oh, yeah. Okay. Connecting my level of maturity. So are you saying that I'm like super mature because I have white hair? I think that's what, That would be connecting my maturity level to my hair. Nobody thinks, hey, look at that white haired person. I bet they're really young. Right? Are we serious? My wife doesn't dye her hair because her white hairs make her look younger. Are you stupid? I already know that one. But like Matt said, if you can't even get yours right, why would anybody trust your opinion on like rocket science and space travel and all these other like come on, dude, you're you know, you're basic. You're clown shoe. You know, it's you gotta be kidding me. I'm saying you're too old to be walking around mocking people with that gay voice. Yep, it's the gay voice. Oh, Jesus Christ. So, should I be more like you and come onto people's live feeds all thirsty as fuck and not willing to cuz I could be more mature like that? No, they go around saying, "Hey, look at that guy with the white hair. I bet he's very mature." All right, you're done. Anyway, you guys you guys have a great day. Pedophiles, kill yourself. Oh my god.